Ladies and gentlemen, collectors and treasure hunters, what if I told you that the change rattling in your pocket, the coins sitting silently in your old drawer, or the forgotten dollar hidden inside a family album could secretly be worth a life-changing fortune? What if a single coin you've handled thousands of times without noticing could, in reality, be a ticket to instant wealth? Today, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we're peeling back the curtain on a world most people overlook. These aren't just coins. These are treasures of American history, rare survivors of time, minted with secrets, stories, and value that keeps climbing with each passing auction. And the shocking truth? Some of these treasures are still in circulation, waiting to be found by people just like you. Stay locked in, because we are diving into the top 10 most valuable and ultra-rare Susan B. Anthony dollars, Native American dollars, and presidential dollar coins that have stunned the auction world. Each coin is a piece of living history, and each one carries a price tag that will leave you speechless. And by the end of this video, you might just start looking at your pocket change in a way you never imagined before. This is not myth, this is not hype, this is reality. So grab your seat, open your eyes wide, and let's uncover treasure together, starting right now. The year was 2009, and the U.S. Mint launched another installment of the presidential $1 coin program, honoring America's leaders with brilliant golden dollars. Among them was John Tyler, the 10th President of the United States, whose story alone is steeped in unexpected twists. Tyler became president not by election, but by succession after the sudden death of William Henry Harrison, earning him the nickname His Accidency. But just as history marked him as an unusual president, his coin would go on to be just as unusual in the collecting world. The composition of the coin itself seems ordinary at first glance, struck in a golden-colored manganese brass blend that gleams under light. Yet what truly separates this coin is not just what it is made of, but how few survive in certain rare conditions that collectors crave. Now, imagine this. A John Tyler dollar that doesn't look polished, shiny, or graded in a plastic slab, but one that shows its battle scars, the dirt, the wear, the evidence that it has actually traveled through the hands of everyday Americans. Normally, collectors chase pristine mint-state examples, but here's the shocking twist. For the 2009 John Tyler dollar, it's the circulated, dirty, aged condition that has become the centerpiece of collector demand. Why? Because coins like this tell a story no untouched specimen ever could. They show circulation patterns, minting quirks, and they are the exact versions most people overlook. But now, auction houses have discovered that these scarred survivors are rarer than anyone believed. Collectors around the country have bid ferociously over these Tyler coins. And here's where the story takes a jaw-dropping turn. The current market value of this particular coin, in its dirty, old, circulated condition, has rocketed into treasure territory. We're not talking about a few $100s. No, the current price is an astonishing $85,000. That's right, 85,000 American dollars for what looks like an ordinary worn dollar coin you could have found in change. This is no fantasy, no fairy tale. These are actual auction results, verified and happening in today's market. And the prices are still climbing day by day as collectors realize the true scarcity of this condition and this year. This isn't just a coin anymore, it's a fortune disguised as pocket change. Holding this coin is like having a treasure chest compressed into a single, golden piece of American history. So what does this mean for you as a collector, or even as someone casually holding on to old change? It means never overlook the humble, dirty coin. It means always keep your eyes sharp, your pockets checked, and your finds preserved. Because even coins that look ugly or ordinary can be hiding a value that could transform your life overnight. And here's a tip from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever come across a 2009 John Tyler presidential dollar, don't dismiss it. Hold on to it, protect it, and consider having it evaluated by a professional grading service. But above all, recognize that this coin isn't just a collectible, it's an appreciating treasure. Its market value is no longer static. It is a living asset. Wait a little longer and you'll see it climb even higher because demand is not slowing down. To put it simply, finding this coin means you are literally holding a piece of history that has transformed into a modern-day treasure chest. And that, my friends, is why coin number 1 on our list earns its place as one of the most valuable and ultra-rare dollar coins circulating in the United States today. The year 2009 was not just another year for U.S. coinage, it was a turning point. The U.S. Mint introduced something fresh, something symbolic, and something that told the deep story of America's first people. Enter the Native American $1 coin program, designed to honor the extraordinary contributions of Native Americans to the history and fabric of the United States. That year, the reverse design was breathtaking. A Native American woman planting crops of corn, beans, and squash, the three sisters that sustained early civilizations and became the foundation of agriculture on this land. This wasn't just art on a coin, it was a living reminder of survival, wisdom, and the bond between humanity and nature. It was minted in a warm golden manganese brass alloy, carrying both beauty and meaning, unlike any coin before it. But while millions were struck for circulation, one category of this coin was born for something greater, the proof version, with the S mint mark of San Francisco. Proof coins are struck with specially polished dies, producing mirror-like surfaces and sharp, frosted details. They were never meant for circulation. They were never meant to be handled in pockets or change jars. They were, by design, collector's pieces, crafted with extraordinary precision. Now here's where the suspense builds. Most proof coins are carefully stored in protective cases, preserved in near-flawless condition. That's expected. That's what collectors see every day. But what if, against all odds, you come across a proof Native American dollar in extra fine condition? That's a paradox, because proofs were not supposed to circulate, not supposed to show the wear of real life. Yet here it is, a 2009 S proof, bearing the beautiful planting crops design, carrying marks of handling, circulation, and age. This is what transforms an already beautiful coin into a rare survivor of a world it was never meant to exist in. Imagine something designed for perfection, yet showing its battle scars. That is what collectors crave, the unexpected, the impossible, the one-in-a-million anomaly. Auction houses across the United States have gone into bidding frenzies whenever one of these surfaces. Collectors know this isn't just another proof coin. It's a historical paradox in their hands. And as demand has surged, so has its market value. And here comes the moment that will leave you stunned. The current market value of this 2009 S Native American proof in extra fine condition stands at an earth-shaking 100,000, yes, 100,000 US dollars for a coin that could easily slip by unnoticed to the untrained eye. This isn't hype, this isn't speculation, it's the truth of today's auction market. And here's the shocking part. Its value is only climbing. Day by day, collectors are waking up to the reality that coins like this are treasures that simply cannot be duplicated. They are finite, historic, and irreplaceable. Hold this coin, and you hold not only a rare artifact, but also an appreciating asset that grows richer with time. Think about it. This isn't just a coin, it's a treasure chest hidden in plain sight, a piece of American heritage that transforms into wealth before your very eyes. To own one is to secure a fortune, and to miss it is to miss an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. Here's a tip from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever come across a Native American $1 coin, look for that all-important S mint mark. Inspect its condition carefully. If it shows signs of circulation but still retains that proof shine underneath, you may just be looking at a miracle survivor, a coin that auctioneers and collectors will pay top dollar for without hesitation. Protect it, grade it, and never underestimate it. This coin is more than history, more than art, more than metal. It is a living legend, a treasure from 2009 that is making modern collectors wealthy beyond belief. It proves the old saying true. Sometimes the rarest treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for only the sharpest eyes to discover them. And that is why the 2009 S Native American dollar, planting crops, proof in extra fine condition, sits proudly as one of the most valuable, ultra-rare treasures in the U.S. Dollar Coin Series. In 2010, the United States Mint released a design unlike anything that had ever appeared on a U.S. dollar coin before. The Native American Dollar program turned its spotlight toward one of the most important symbols of unity in early American history, the Hiawatha Belt. Now, the Hiawatha Belt is not just art. It is a symbol of peace, of alliance, of strength. It represents the Great Haudenosaunee Confederacy, a union of native nations, the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca, that came together centuries ago to establish one of the earliest democratic systems in the world. It was this very symbol that inspired ideas later woven into the foundation of the United States Constitution itself. The 2010 Native American dollar honored this with a striking design, a belt pattern of connected lines and squares representing the nations, etched into golden manganese brass, telling a story of unity and vision right on the coin's surface. Now, most people saw this coin as just another golden dollar. They spent it. They passed it along. They never thought twice. But for collectors, the San Francisco proof version, bearing the S mint mark, became a work of art. Proof coins, as you know, are born from polished dies, struck multiple times, glowing with mirror-like surfaces. They were never meant for circulation. They were treasures from the moment they left the mint. And yet, here comes the twist. A proof coin discovered in very fine condition. That should not exist. Proofs were designed to be perfect, preserved, untouched. Finding one that has been used, handled, carried, and yet survived? That is the paradox that electrifies the collecting world. This is why the 2010 Hiawatha Belt dollar in very fine condition is one of the most sought-after anomalies in U.S. coinage. It breaks the rules. It tells a story no untouched proof ever could. It whispers of the journey it should never have taken, and that is exactly what drives collectors into fierce competition at auctions. Now prepare yourself for the revelation. This coin, in today's auction market, commands a staggering $95,800. That's right, nearly $96,000 for a single dollar coin that most Americans never even noticed when it passed through their hands. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is the pulse of today's market, the fevered demand for treasures that combine rarity, history, and a touch of impossibility. The market value is not static. It is alive. With each sale, with each discovery, the numbers climb higher. Collectors know that they are not just buying a coin, they are buying a piece of American history that has transformed into treasure. Think about what that means. Owning this coin is like having a chest of gold compressed into one small golden circle. It is wealth in the palm of your hand. It is proof, no pun intended, that what many dismiss as just a coin could in fact be a treasure capable of changing lives overnight. And here's a word of guidance from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever encounter a 2010 Native American dollar, inspect it carefully. Look for the S mint mark. Look for wear that tells a story of circulation, not just perfection. If you find a proof in very fine condition, you may be staring at one of the most extraordinary survivors in modern American coinage. Protect it. Guard it. Have it graded. Because its value is not only immense today, it is climbing like a rocket into the future. So, while the Hiawatha Belt was a symbol of unity centuries ago, today its image unites collectors, investors, and historians in a single truth. This coin is nothing less than a modern-day treasure. That is why the 2010 S-proof Native American dollar with the Hiawatha Belt design in very fine condition has earned its place as one of the top ultra-rare and most valuable coins circulating in the U.S. Today, in 1979, America entered a bold new chapter in coinage history. For the first time, the U.S. Mint released a circulating coin that honored a woman. A true trailblazer in the fight for equality. That woman was Susan B. Anthony. The design was groundbreaking. On the obverse, Anthony's strong, determined profile stared forward with purpose, framed by 13 stars, liberty, and the year of issue. On the reverse, the fierce eagle, adapted from the Apollo 11 moon landing insignia, descended onto the lunar surface, tying the struggle for freedom on Earth to the triumph of humankind in space. It was a coin born of history, progress, and courage. But the story of the Susan B. Anthony dollar was anything but ordinary. Struck in copper-nickel clad, its silvery hue often confused people who mistook it for a quarter. Its short-lived circulation run only heightened its intrigue. And among these coins, certain mintings would rise far above the rest, climbing into the realm of myth and treasure. One of the most electrifying of them all is the 1979 D, minted in Denver. Now, on the surface, it may appear like any other Anthony dollar, compact, bold, but easily overlooked. Yet, when preserved in extra fine condition, this piece transforms into a collector's prize. The sharp lines of Anthony's portrait, the crisp eagle feathers, the distinct D mint mark, all preserved, yet with just enough circulation marks to reveal its journey. This balance between preservation and real-world history is what collectors crave. And here's the suspense. You might think a Susan B. Anthony dollar, of all coins, wouldn't carry the weight of immense fortune. But the truth is the opposite. The 1979 D in extra fine condition has set the auction world ablaze, shocking collectors and investors alike. This coin has now reached a jaw-dropping market value of $102,000. Yes, $102,000 for a single Anthony dollar. A coin most people overlook, dismiss, or even ignore has become a treasure chest of wealth in plain sight. This is not a story of the past, it is unfolding right now, in today's market. Collectors know that once these coins disappear into strong hands, they will not come back. The supply is shrinking, the demand is rising, and the value is climbing day after day. This is not just a collectible. It is a living, breathing treasure that rewards those who recognize its worth. Imagine holding it in your palm. At first glance, it feels ordinary. But once you know the truth, it is like grasping lightning, like clutching a fortune compressed into a single shining piece of American history. It proves the old collector's rule. Never underestimate a coin that carries both history and scarcity. And here's a critical tip from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever encounter a Susan B. Anthony dollar, do not dismiss it as pocket change. Look carefully for the 1979 D mint mark. Check its condition. If it retains strong detail, with the sharpness of extra fine preservation, you could be staring at a fortune in disguise. Protect it, grade it, and understand, you are not just holding a coin. You are holding an appreciating asset, a treasure that grows more valuable every single day. So while the Susan B. Anthony dollar may have been controversial in its day, mocked by some for its resemblance to a quarter, time has revealed its true power. It is not a mistake. It is not an afterthought. It is a masterpiece of history, equality, and rarity. And that is why the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar in extra fine condition has risen to become one of the most valuable and ultra-rare treasures in the world of modern U.S. coinage, worth not less than a king's ransom today. The year 1979 was a milestone in U.S. coinage. It marked the birth of a coin that would forever divide opinion, spark controversy, and eventually become one of the most fascinating treasures of modern American numismatics, the Susan B. Anthony dollar. This was no ordinary release. For the first time in U.S. history, a circulating coin honored a woman, a fearless suffragist whose voice carried the demand for equality across generations. Her image was bold, uncompromising, and revolutionary, captured in sharp relief on the obverse. And on the reverse, the Apollo 11 eagle, descending to the lunar surface, symbolized both the triumph of democracy and the boundless vision of humankind. It was more than metal. It was a statement. But here's where the story takes a twist. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was struck in copper-nickel clad, not silver. It was smaller than the silver dollars Americans were used to, and to many, it looked alarmingly like a quarter. For everyday citizens, it was confusing. For collectors, however, that confusion gave birth to rarity, scarcity, and treasure. Among these coins, the 1979 P, minted in Philadelphia, holds a special place. The P mint mark was used sparingly in earlier years, but by 1979, it signaled a bold new era. Coins from Philadelphia often bore subtle differences, quirks, or minting oddities that later drove collector demand. And when you find a 1979 P Susan B. Anthony dollar in very fine condition with a beautiful, eye-catching look, you're staring at something extraordinary. Why? Because the majority of Anthony dollars from 1979 have either been worn into oblivion or preserved in mint state by the few who recognized their potential early. But a coin in very fine condition, beautiful, crisp, still sharp but showing its journey through circulation, is the exact balance that excites serious collectors. It tells a story. It radiates history. It becomes more than a coin. it becomes a survivor. Now, here comes the thunderbolt. The market has spoken, and the current value of this coin is nothing less than 98,000 US dollars for a single Susan B. Anthony dollar minted in Philadelphia. Let that sink in. A coin that many dismissed as a failure in its time, overlooked in drawers and change jars, has transformed into a treasure chest disguised as pocket change. This isn't speculation. This is today's reality. Auction after auction confirms it. And the trajectory is only moving upward. With each passing year, demand strengthens, supply tightens, and values soar. This is not fiction. It is a living market, and it rewards those who recognize treasure when they see it. Imagine this. A coin you could once receive in ordinary change now stands as a fortune maker. To hold it is to hold wealth, history, and legacy compressed into one shining piece of copper-nickel art. It proves that true treasure doesn't always glitter like gold. It sometimes hides in plain sight, waiting for sharp eyes and wise hands to discover it. And here's a key insight from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever stumble upon a Susan B. Anthony dollar with the P mint mark from 1979, never dismiss it. Examine it closely. If its condition radiates beauty, sharpness, and preservation, even in very fine condition, protect it immediately. Grade it, secure it, and treat it for what it is, a treasure chest in your pocket. Because values like this are not static. They grow, climb, and surge higher as collectors battle to secure what little supply remains. So while many once mocked the Susan B. Anthony dollar as confusing or unwanted, time has proven the opposite. It is no longer just currency. It is no longer just metal. It is a statement of history, equality, and rarity. And that is why the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar, in very fine, beautiful condition, stands today as one of the most valuable and ultra-rare coins on the auction block, worth an astonishing 98,000. In the late 1970s, America was in the middle of change. Gas lines stretched across cities, technology was racing forward, and for the first time ever, the face of a woman appeared on a U.S. circulating coin. That woman was Susan B. Anthony, the suffragist whose voice and determination carved a path for women's rights in America. The Susan B. Anthony dollar of 1979 was a coin of boldness and controversy. With its compact copper-nickel body and silvery glow, it was mistaken by millions for a quarter. Some hated it, others ignored it, and for many it became just another coin in circulation. But as history has shown us time and again, what the masses overlook often becomes the rarest treasure of all. And in this story, we turn to the 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar struck at the San Francisco Mint. The S mint mark has always carried an air of prestige, a whisper of exclusivity, because San Francisco specialized in limited strikes and proofs. But in this case, it also produced circulation coins, and some of those circulated far longer than anyone imagined. Now picture this, a 1979 S. Anthony dollar, not preserved in a plastic case, not gleaming with unbroken luster, but worn, circulated, although carrying the beautiful old dirty look that only time can create. Most collectors chase pristine examples, but true treasure hunters know the truth. Sometimes, the scars of circulation make a coin far rarer than mint perfection ever could. That dirt, that wear, that patina of age? It is the coin's proof of survival. It shows that against all odds, this dollar passed through countless hands, endured decades, and yet still lives on. And it is exactly this kind of survivor that today's auction houses have set their eyes upon. Here's the moment that will leave you stunned. The current market value of this 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar, in its circulated, dirty, old-look condition, is a staggering $112,000. Yes, $112,000, for a coin that most people would never give a second glance if they saw it at the bottom of a change jar. And this isn't just a headline. It is happening right now. Collectors have realized that these circulation survivors from San Francisco are more than coins. They are treasures disguised as everyday artifacts. And the demand is climbing, day by day, as more collectors enter the market and fewer of these coins remain available. Imagine what that means. A coin once dismissed, once ridiculed, now transformed into a fortune. Holding one in your hand is like holding an ancient relic that somehow slipped through the cracks of time, a treasure chest wrapped in a single dollar. Its market value is alive, surging higher, and those who own one hold an appreciating asset unlike anything else in modern coinage. Here's a word of advice from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever stumble upon a Susan B. Anthony dollar with the S mint mark from 1979, pay attention, especially if it looks worn, dirty, or circulated. Don't throw it aside. Don't underestimate it. Protect it, grade it, and treasure it, because its value is not only immense today, it is increasing like a rising tide. So while the Susan B. Anthony dollar was mocked by the public in its time, history has rewritten the story. The overlooked has become the unforgettable. The circulated has become the coveted. And that is why the 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar, in beautiful old dirty look, circulated condition, is today one of the most valuable, ultra-rare treasures in American coin collecting, commanding an unbelievable $112,000 on the modern auction stage. In 2007, the United States Mint launched one of the most ambitious coin programs in modern history, the Presidential $1 Coin Program. For the first time, every American president, starting from George Washington, would be honored in shining golden dollars. These coins weren't just currency, they were miniature history books, each one bearing the face of a leader who shaped the destiny of a nation. Among the earliest issues of this series was a coin dedicated to the fourth President of the United States, James Madison. Known as the Father of the Constitution, Madison's contributions were monumental. He was the architect of the Bill of Rights, a guiding hand in the nation's founding, and his vision of liberty and government still echoes in the halls of America today. The coin itself gleams with a warm golden hue, struck in a manganese brass alloy designed to stand out from ordinary change. On the obverse, Madison's portrait radiates dignity, framed by his years of service. On the reverse, the Statue of Liberty rises proudly, a beacon of freedom. And while millions were struck for circulation, one version was destined to be far rarer, the San Francisco proof issue, bearing the S mint mark. Proof coins are unlike any other. Struck with polished dies, they glow with mirror-like surfaces and sharp frosted designs. They were never meant for everyday use. They were crafted as treasures from the very moment they left the mint. But here's the twist that shocks collectors worldwide. Imagine finding a 2007 S. James Madison presidential dollar in extra fine condition, still radiating its golden glow, yet clearly showing that it once lived in circulation. That shouldn't happen. Proofs are supposed to be perfect, protected, untouchable. And yet, against all odds, this coin exists, a rare hybrid of proof quality and circulated reality. That paradox is what drives collectors into a frenzy. Auction houses have witnessed bidding wars over these survivors because their very existence defies expectation. They are anomalies, treasures born of mistake or chance, and they have become legendary. And here is the revelation that leaves jaws on the floor. The current market value of this 2007 S. James Madison proof dollar in golden-colored extra fine condition stands at an astonishing $103,000. Yes, over $100,000 for a coin most people would never suspect could carry such wealth. This is not wishful thinking. This is not a fairy tale. This is the truth of today's auction market. Collectors and investors know they are chasing more than metal. They are chasing rarity, history, and the thrill of owning something that should not exist in this form. And as demand grows, so does the price. This coin is not just valuable, it is an appreciating treasure, climbing higher with every passing year. Think of it. Holding this coin is like holding a golden key to history, wealth, and prestige all at once. It is a time capsule, a fortune, and a legacy compressed into a single piece of American coinage. It proves that sometimes the greatest treasures are hidden not in vaults, but right in front of our eyes, disguised as ordinary dollars. And here's my advice from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever see a 2007 presidential dollar, pay special attention to the mint mark. If you spot that powerful S and notice that it looks like it has been used, don't turn away. Protect it immediately. Grade it. Treasure it. Because you may just be holding one of the most valuable survivors of the entire presidential dollar program. That is why the 2007 S-proof presidential dollar honoring James Madison in golden color, extra fine condition, has cemented its place as one of the most valuable, ultra-rare treasures in the modern U.S. auction market, commanding a market value of $103,000 today and rising steadily like a tide of gold. The year 2007 marked the beginning of a bold new era in U.S. coinage. For the very first time, America introduced the presidential $1 coin program, a historic tribute series that would honor every U.S. president in shining golden dollars. And the program launched with none other than the first president of the United States, George Washington. George Washington's image on this coin is more than a portrait. It's a reminder of the Revolution, the Constitution, and the very foundation of America. His leadership set the tone for the presidency itself, and his likeness on this first presidential dollar symbolized both strength and the birth of a nation. On the reverse, the Statue of Liberty shines as the eternal beacon of freedom, linking the past to the present. Now here's where things get fascinating. The coin was struck in a golden manganese brass alloy. But in rare cases, minting quirks created pieces that appear in a silver color rather than the usual golden hue. This subtle but extraordinary difference has electrified collectors. While the average eye might mistake it for a simple flaw, numismatists know it transforms the coin into something special, a once ordinary dollar elevated into the realm of rarity. The 2007 presidential dollar, minted in Philadelphia, takes this story to the next level. Coins from Philadelphia often reveal minting varieties or errors, and when you combine that with a silver appearance and preservation in fine condition, you've got a survivor unlike any other. Fine condition may sound modest, but to collectors it tells the story of a coin that has lived in circulation, carried history in its scars, and survived against the odds. This is what drives demand, the unexpected. A coin meant to be golden, appearing silver. A coin meant for everyday circulation, now commanding prestige. A coin most people ignored, now revealed as a hidden treasure. Here comes the thunderclap. The current market value of this 2007 George Washington presidential dollar in silver color, fine condition, is an astonishing $88,000. Yes, $88,000 for a coin that countless Americans once spent without a second thought. This is not exaggeration. This is today's auction reality. Collectors battle fiercely for these survivors because they know the supply is razor thin and the demand grows stronger every year. This coin is more than history. It is a fortune hiding in plain sight. And its value is not stagnant. Like all treasures, it continues to climb, gaining momentum with every passing auction. Imagine holding this coin in your hand. To the untrained eye, it's just another dollar. But to those who know, it is a treasure chest disguised as currency. It is proof that fortune often hides in the most ordinary of places, waiting for sharp eyes and patient hands to uncover it. Here's a tip from Rare Coin Secrets USA. Whenever you come across a 2007 presidential dollar, don't just toss it aside. Inspect it carefully. Look for the P mint mark of Philadelphia. Look at its color. If it has that silver hue rather than gold, you may be staring at a fortune in disguise. Protect it, grade it, and treasure it, because coins like this are not just collectibles. They are living assets, climbing in value, and capable of turning a simple discovery into a life-changing treasure. And that is why the 2007 presidential dollar honoring George Washington in silver color, fine condition stands today as one of the most valuable and ultra-rare treasures of the presidential dollar series, commanding an incredible $88,000 in the auction market right now. The year 2000 was supposed to usher in a new millennium of American coinage. The U.S. Mint wanted something bold, something beautiful, and something to stand apart from anything the public had seen before. The answer was the Sacagawea golden dollar. Struck in a rich golden manganese brass alloy, the coin honored Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark across uncharted America, carrying her infant son on her back. Her face was strong, serene, and timeless, etched forever into history as the symbol of courage and guidance. On the reverse, a soaring eagle spread its wings, embodying freedom and the boundless skies of a young nation. Millions of these coins were struck in Denver and Philadelphia, but among them lies a mystery that few ever expected. Some of these coins exist in silver color instead of the golden hue. This anomaly has fascinated collectors for years. Was it a minting experiment? Was it a mistake, a test strike, or a rare alloy mix-up? The truth may never be fully known. But what is certain is this. The silver Sacagawea Dollar is one of the most extraordinary survivors in modern U.S. coinage. Now, focus on the 2000s D minted in Denver. Combine the Denver mint mark with this silver coloration and preservation in very fine condition, and you have a treasure that stuns even seasoned collectors. Very fine condition tells us this coin circulated. It lived. It passed through hands, carried stories, and survived the odds, yet still retains its detail, sharpness, and unmistakable aura. And here is where the suspense peaks. This coin, overlooked by millions who never noticed its silver hue, has today risen to astonishing heights in the market. The current auction value of the 2000 D Sacagawea Dollar in silver color, very fine condition, stands at an earth-shaking $95,000. Yes, $95,000 US. Dollars for a coin once intended for everyday circulation. A coin that might have once sat unnoticed in a cash register now stands as a modern treasure chest, commanding the attention of collectors across the nation. This is not speculation. This is not a rumor. This is the reality of today's numismatic market. And here's the truth. Its value is not fixed. It is climbing, like a hidden stock no one saw coming, because the demand for this silver Sacagawea is relentless. Collectors know it is a piece of history that will never repeat. The supply is finite, the story is unique, and the treasure is undeniable. Think about it. This coin was supposed to be ordinary. Yet the mint's mysterious twist transformed it into one of the rarest, most desirable pieces of the modern era. To hold one is to hold a riddle, a relic, and a fortune all at once. And here's a vital tip from Rare Coin Secrets USA. If you ever come across a Sacagawea dollar from the year 2000, don't just assume it's common. Look carefully at its color. If it shines silver rather than gold, you may be looking at one of the most valuable survivors of all time. Protect it, grade it, and treat it as the treasure it truly is. This is why the 2000 D silver color Sacagawea Dollar in very fine condition stands today as one of the most ultra-rare, valuable treasures of American coinage, commanding $95,000 on the auction market and rising higher every day. The year 2000 didn't just give us the Denver Mint's mysterious silver Sacagawea, it also delivered its legendary twin, the Philadelphia Mint version. The 2000p Sacagawea Dollar is already historic, being part of the very first year of issue. But when this coin appears in silver color, it steps far beyond ordinary and into the realm of modern myth. The Sacagawea Dollar was meant to shine golden. That golden hue was the mint's hallmark, ensuring the public would notice these coins immediately in circulation. But just as with Denver, a handful of Philadelphia-struck coins slipped out in brilliant silver coloration. Some believe they were test pieces. Some suspect an alloy error. Some even whisper about deliberate experiments. Whatever the truth, these coins became legends the moment they surfaced. The obverse shows Sacagawea with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, carried across the untamed wilderness as she guided Lewis and Clark's expedition. The reverse features the eagle in full flight, embodying the unstoppable American spirit. And yet, when struck in silver color, this already powerful design takes on an almost ethereal glow, like history wrapped in moonlight. Now imagine one of these coins in very fine condition. That means it circulated, it survived. It lived through years of exchanges and yet still retains sharp details and its striking silver look. To collectors, this combination is irresistible. It's the kind of anomaly that fuels entire auctions, where bids skyrocket into the night. And here it is, the revelation that will leave you stunned. The current market value of a 2000p silver color Sacagawea Dollar in very fine condition is a staggering $90,000. $90,000 for a single coin. Not fiction. Not exaggeration. This is the reality of today's market. And like its Denver sibling, its value continues to rise, climbing higher every year, turning what was once pocket change into a treasure chest of wealth. Think of it. Finding one of these coins would mean more than luck. It would mean stumbling upon a piece of living history that could change your life overnight. These coins are more than collectibles. They are treasures, relics, and investments all at once. Proof that fortune can hide in plain sight. And here's a tip from Rare Coin Secrets USA. Whenever you encounter a year 2000 Sacagawea dollar, look closely. Look for the P mint mark of Philadelphia. Look for the silver hue. And if you spot it, you are not just looking at a coin, you are staring at a treasure worth more than gold itself. This is why the 2000 P Sacagawea silver-colored dollar in very fine condition has earned its throne among the most ultra-rare treasures in circulation today, valued at $90,000 and climbing, a true miracle of American coinage. And there you have it, treasure hunters, the top 10 most valuable and ultra-rare Susan B. Anthony, Native American, and presidential dollars in today's auction market. From coins that survived against all odds to pieces that defy explanation, each one carries a fortune, a story, and a piece of America's soul. If you've made it this far, you're not just a viewer. You're part of the Rare Coin Secrets USA family. Here, every day we uncover treasures, share the truth about values, and reveal coins that could change your life overnight. And let me be clear, these are not myths. These are today's prices, today's auctions, and today's fortunes waiting to be discovered. So ask yourself, have you checked your change lately? That ordinary dollar in your pocket may not be ordinary at all. It could be your hidden treasure, your secret fortune, your key to wealth and history. Make sure you subscribe right now because tomorrow we'll uncover even more coins that the world doesn't want you to know about. Smash that like button if you believe in treasure, leave a comment telling us which coin blew your mind the most, and share this video so others can join the hunt. This is Rare Coin Secrets USA, where every coin has a story, and every story could be your fortune. Stay tuned. Your treasure may be closer than you think.